and a pair of Chinamen came striding in. They were dressed identically in loose-fitting black blouses and trousers, with flat-topped, round-brimmed hats upon their heads. We'd never laid eyes on either fellow before, but we'd seen their like a lot lately. They were highbinders, hired killers working for Chinatown's fighting tongs. "You know," I said under my breath, "if this is that new trail you promised, I don't think I care to follow it." "Me neither," Gustav said, pushing himself up off his knees. There was even less to like a moment later when the room's other door, the one my brother and I were darting toward at the time, flew open and two more highbinders stepped inside. Of course, there's another name for such thugs as we were facing, one you've most likely run across in newspaper or magazine stories: hatchet men. And if you've ever wondered whether Chinatown outlaws are slapped with that handle for the obvious reason, I can provide an authoritative answer for you based on what happened next. They are. Chapter 1, Experience. Or, Gustav and I are most definitely not in the pink. It wasn't just fear I felt as I faced those highbinders and their hatchets. I was almost as surprised as I was petrified. Not that I was about to die, mind you. It was more the manner of it. An early death was a possibility, perhaps even a probability, of which I'd been acutely aware almost from birth. As a lad on the family farm in Kansas, I figured it was smallpox, starvation, or sitting bull that'd get me. After most of my kin were indeed got, by a flood as it came to pass, I took to drovering with my brother Gustav, thus giving myself ample opportunity to meet my maker via stampede, saddle-dragging, bull's horn, or rustler's bullet. On top of which, my brother had me half convinced my big mouth was going to get me brained in a saloon brawl sooner or later. So imagine my dismay upon learning I'd end my days being chopped into chow mein in Chinatown. Well, that one I didn't see coming, though perhaps I should have, given our luck of late. Our detour into the peculiar began a full year earlier, in June of 1892, when a fellow puncher passed along a magazine story he thought might amuse us: The Red-Headed League by Dr. John Watson. The joke being that Gustav and I could be charter members of any such league ourselves, since we each have hair the crimson of cardinal feathers. But handing us the Red-Headed League turned out to be much more than just a jape. It was like giving little Chrissy Columbus his first toy boat, or telling Paul Bunyan he's just not working out as a seamstress and shouldn't he consider a line of work more suiting his size. It was, in other words, the sort of seemingly meaningless gesture that can change lives, and perhaps end them. You see, Gustav had long been chafing in the saddle, not just in the way that leaves you walking bow-legged. A finer cowhand than he you could not chance to meet, yet my brother was feeling ever more thwarted, nursing other men's cattle for $1 a day. Life as a cowboy requires much in the way of skill and grit, but your brains you can leave wrapped up in your war bags. And Gustav, he was itching to unpack his and put them to work. The Red-Headed League showed him how, for at its center was a man who made his way in the world not by the sweat of his brow, but by the shrewdness of the mind beneath it. Details and data were his stock in trade, and these are free to all who have the keenness of vision to see them clearly. The man called himself a consulting detective, and his name, of course, was Sherlock Holmes. He was dead, we later learned, lost to a waterfall under circumstances most mysterious. But in my brother, his spirit found itself a new vessel. An imperfect one, though, as even Gustav would admit. Sharp of eye though he may be, my brother is also utterly void of learning.